So let's go back to the original question. Why was turning stones into bread? Why was that sinful? What was so wrong about it? Why couldn't Jesus have just done that? Okay, so one of the reasons, very, very simple. The reason why it would have been a sin if Jesus did that is because Satan is the one who told him to do it. It's as simple as that, right? Because God could have come and said, my son, here are some stones, turn them into bread. I know you're hungry. If God had told him to do that, he could have turned the stones into bread and it wouldn't have been a sin at all, right? There's nothing innately wrong about turning stones into bread if you have the ability to do it, as Jesus, I'm sure, did. So, but because Satan is the one who told him to do it, that in itself turned it into a sin. I think there was more to it, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But there is a relativity to sin that Satan will use against us. He does it all the time because the source of our motivation is very, very important. So let me give you an example of what I am talking about so that you'll understand what I mean. So let's say you got a friend and your friend's in trouble, needs some help. I mean, maybe some money or some help with something. Okay, and you really care about your friend. You love your friend. And so you very gladly, joyfully help your friend because out of the compassion of your heart, because you really love this person and you want to help them. So that's a good deed, right? Let's say somebody else helps this friend as well, right? But this other person does not care about the person who they are helping. They don't care about them at all. In fact, the only reason that they are helping this person is because they want everybody else around to see what a good, holy, righteous person they are for helping this person in need. You know, it's kind of like the person who takes a selfie while they're giving money to a homeless person. See how good I am? I'm so righteous. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so from this example, you've got two different people helping someone. Okay, so on the outside, it looks like they're doing exactly the same thing. Both people are helping. Okay, but one person, you are helping your friend out of the goodness of your heart. This is a good, compassionate deed that you are doing. The other person is only helping for selfish reasons, for narcissistic reasons, because they want everybody else around to see how holy and righteous they are. So they may be helping this person, but they are actually doing it from a place of pridefulness and selfishness. And so what they are doing is actually very sinful. So does that make sense? So what I'm saying is that two people can do exactly the same thing on the outside, but for one person, it's a sin, and the other person, it is not a sin. Because what determines in that case if it's a sin or not is their motivation, is what's going on inside of them. And so for people on the outside, we might not always be aware of that, but God, Jesus, is always aware of what's in our hearts. Okay? And so the motivations, what's inside of them, that determines whether it is sin or not. So does that make sense? All right. And we see this all the time, with these fakey, narcissistic Christians, what I'm talking about, who only do good deeds so that other people will think that they are narcissistic, that they are good, righteous, and holy. There's a lot of people like that. The Pharisees were like that. And Jesus accused them of doing this. You clean the outside of the cup so that everybody thinks you're holy and righteous, but inside you are full of corruption and greed and death, And Jesus told them that their father was the devil. So this is not a good thing to do. All right. People like that only care about themselves. All right. So if Satan tells you to do something, even if there's nothing innately wrong with that thing that he tells you to do all by itself, if Satan tells you to do it, don't do it. Because basically you're obeying Satan. That is always a sin. We do not ever want to obey what the devil tells us to do, no matter what it is. So the application here is that we need to be checking our own motivations, okay? We need to make sure that we are being led only by the Holy Spirit, okay? Not by anything else, including the enemy, in our own pride. Because if you are doing things and you are motivated by your pridefulness, you are following Satan. Okay, Satan is the father of lies. He is the father of pride. Okay, so things done out of pridefulness are basically making an idol of yourself. It is a way of following the enemy.